when it comes to starting a YouTube channel, you need some things, you know, like it's just all there is to it. But I can almost guarantee you that you don't need near as many things as you think you do. And you probably have everything you need already, like at your disposal. So today we're going to chat about everything you need to start a YouTube channel. All of it. No fluff included. Hey, howdy, hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, what's up? My name is Jessica Stansberry. I am pumped that you are here. We are going to be friends, I promise. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I am here to help you make a living doing what you love. You know, make a living creating content. That is my goal. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you hit subscribe below. All right, so when I was getting started on YouTube, I remember going and watching all of these videos, right? Like, what camera do I need? What microphone do I need? Do I need a studio? Like, what do I need to start on YouTube? And so many people led me astray. Like, so many YouTube videos led me to believe that I needed the fanciest camera with the fanciest mic and the fanciest lighting, and none of that is true. Now, the lighting in this video is likely trash, but we're working with what we got today. We're working with what we've got. So I'm here to tell you that if you want to start a YouTube channel, you already probably have everything you need, and you definitely have way more than you think you do. Okay, so first things first, the very first thing you need, and probably the most important thing that you need, is an idea and a niche that you want to create videos within. Now, I actually think when you're starting on YouTube, you can actually get away with not being super niche down at first and kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what YouTube wants you to create content about and what you enjoy creating content about. But you need somewhat of a niche at the very least. You need somewhat of an idea, like throwing spaghetti at the wall within the gaming niche, or throwing spaghetti at the wall within the creator niche, or throwing spaghetti at the wall within the vlog family niche, throwing spaghetti at the wall within the editing niche. Like, I don't mean that all of those things should be what you throw spaghetti at the wall with. So you need to pick a niche of some sort, even if it's really broad right now, and an idea of kind of what the type of content you want to create is. Now, what I recommend is obviously going with something that you already love, you're passionate about, you can already speak about or talk about or whatever for hours and hours on end, but also knowing who the person is that you're talking to. Knowing the person is going to help so much. So basically, first things first, you need an idea and at least a broad niche to start operating in. Otherwise, you're just going to be flailing around like a fish, and you're not going to know what you should create your next content about. You're not going to know whatever, and you're not going to be able to kind of establish yourself with YouTube's algorithm as someone that is in a certain niche. So if your whole channel is just like, sometimes I talk about plants, sometimes I talk about my kids, sometimes I talk about editing videos, sometimes I talk about Minecraft. That is so all over the place that YouTube has no clue who would want to see your videos because it's not a consistent person who would want to see them. So a niche and an idea are the first and most important things that you need. The second thing, and this is really important, is the motivation and the drive to actually be consistent and do this thing. YouTube is not a short game. YouTube is not a sprint. It is absolutely a marathon. I have been on YouTube for 6 years at this point. Most creators, don't hit it big or hit big numbers or anything like that until they've been on the platform for a long time. The people who succeed on YouTube have been on it for a while and are in it for the long haul. So if you do not have the motivation to keep going, if you do not have what it takes to be consistent and film videos and put them out on the internet, even when nobody is watching, you will fail. hands down, you will fail, which is an unfortunate thing to say, but it is true. One of the main things that you need to really get started on YouTube is to understand how much work it is and understand how much you are going to have to be dedicated to making this happen if you really want to make it happen. So motivation and the willpower to stay consistent even when it's hard is absolutely something that you need. It is. Now listen, I know you probably came here thinking I was going to tell you all about the camera you need and that kind of stuff. And I kind of am, but honestly, that's the least important. It definitely is important. It definitely is something you need to think about. But when it comes to your niche and your motivation, those two things are really the most important. But let's talk about the equipment. You definitely need a camera. Absolutely. You need decent lighting and you need decent sound. That's really what it comes down to. Now, I generally film with natural lighting, but it is such a pain in the butt sometimes because right now, the sun is blaring in this side of my office and this is what we're getting. But I'm well lit from a lighting perspective and it's good enough. It's good enough, right? I also have decent sound. I haven't always had great sound. Sometimes I go through phases where my videos sound like crap, right? But decent enough to where people can hear you, that's easy. And a camera. Now, this is where I think most people get lost, is they'll start Googling YouTube cameras or best camera for YouTuber. They'll start looking up YouTube videos of people talking about that. And they're talking about things like the A7S III, which is what I'm filming on, which between the body and the lens cost more than my first car. Okay? It's an expensive boy. He's a little pricey, right? And then that's what people think they need to film videos, and that's just not true. If you are starting on YouTube, I recommend that you have the phone you already have in your pocket, especially if it's a newer one, a more up-to-date one. This is the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and it does amazing video, even with a crack on the lens. And I 100% started my channel and grew my channel on my iPhone. And that was 6 years ago when iPhones weren't what they are today, So I promise you there are creators out there who are iPhone only and who absolutely, have amazing channels and are growing like crazy. And you already have something like this in your back pocket. You already have a phone. I know you do because everybody has a phone these days, So use what you already have. Use a window. Make sure the phone is pretty close to your face. You'll be fine. You don't need the fancy things. You don't need the fancy camera. You don't need any of that. If you do want a dedicated camera for your videos or whatever, and you have the budget to do that, then get one. I will link some options below in the description that I love. Like this Sony ZV-1, which is what I use for vlogging, is pretty inexpensive. There's a Canon M50 that I also have that I use as a webcam now. But there are a ton of options that are not going to break the bank, whereas you can go for the big boy. I highly recommend you don't, because you don't know if you're going to be consistent yet. You don't know if you're going to stick to this. You don't know if you're going to like it. So go with what you already have, or something where it's not going to be that detrimental if you decide you don't like it. And all of that being said, most cameras like the ZV-1 or your iPhone have decent microphones built in. So it's not like your audio is going to be complete trash. And maybe that can be one of the first things that you upgrade. You could get a lavalier mic that plugs in and you wear it on your shirt. But that is not something I would worry about right now. And lastly, to get started on YouTube now, you need a way to edit your videos. That can be iMovie on your iPhone, that can be iMovie on your computer, that can be something like Filmora on your desktop. DaVinci Resolve, which is a super high-end editing program, has a free version. That can be anything, okay? You don't have to have the fanciest editing software to be a YouTuber. You don't have to have any of that to get started. You need a software that allows you to get things edited, which means it's one that you don't have to fuss too much with. And if you're not super techie, you're not spending hours and hours to learn about, right? And you need to get the videos out the door. So while most people, when they think of what do I need when I'm starting a YouTube channel, they're going to think about the cameras. They're going to think about the microphones. They're going to think about the lighting. They're going to think about all of this stuff. That is the least of your worries, honestly, because you can make it happen with the phone in your pocket. You can make it happen in front of a window, and you really just need a niche and a person you're talking to, an idea for your channel, the determination and the motivation to actually be consistent and show up on the regular, and to know how to edit your videos. That's it. From there, you want to become a constant student of the platform. You want to learn as much as you can about how to title your videos and do thumbnails and, what should go in your description. But all of that stuff lives rent-free on YouTube. Like, you can totally learn all of that as you go. That is not something you need to know immediately from the get-go. There have been people who've gone viral and had massive success on YouTube without doing anything right. Like, absolutely. So putting the video out is the most important part. You can then become a student of the platform and learn as much as you possibly can and level up as you can. If you want a different camera, but you can't afford it now, then wait until you're making money from YouTube and use that money to upgrade your camera. If you think you need better sound, same situation. If you need a different editor, or you need to hire an editor, or you need to learn more about editing, invest as you grow so that you're not spending all of this money up front for something that you may not even continue to do. Most people drop a few YouTube videos and give up. Drop a few, give up. Drop a few, give up. And so if you're going to buy a massive, insanely expensive camera to get 3 videos in and be like, this is not for me, that's insane. It's literally insane. So that's what you need. An idea, a niche, motivation, determination, a decent enough camera, a window, and to know how to edit. That's it. Stop letting thinking you need all of these other things or thinking you need it all figured out because you don't stop you from starting that channel. I hope this was really helpful. I'm sorry the lighting was like the whole time. It drives me insane when it does this. I try not to film on partly cloudy days, but sometimes I have to film on the day I have to film. Like this week, I have to film today. Had to. This is my 3rd video, I'm done. But I had to film today, okay? And when I started off this morning, it was completely cloudy. It was completely like dreary and gross. And I was like, all right, awesome. My artificial lights are going to come in handy. And then the sun was like, hey girl, no, we're going to come help you today. But she's being a little finicky, she's being a little not nice. So anyway, sorry about that, but hopefully you learned what you needed to learn. If you have other questions about getting started on YouTube or, what it takes to be a full-time YouTuber or, what cameras, like whatever, remember that I link some things in the description below for you, and hit me up in the comments if you, have other questions. And until next time, there goes the sun. Bye, y'all.